Hello, we're back. So yeah, I've finally able to do my trilogy acts again. I'm just gonna put this out real quick because I forgot to do that. Sorry, I need my webcam preview so I can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, so anyway, hello. It's SquishiVision. I'm back to a trailer reaction to Andor. So as as I always go into these without having really. Let's start again. Hello, welcome to SquishiVision. I'm back. I couldn't do trailer reactions for a long time because my laptop bricked and I wasn't able to use it. And then all the kind of show reactions I've done, if you've seen them on my mobile. So this is me back on my. I built a PC. I got sick of using a laptop. I built a PC. Cost me a whole bunch of money, but now I can do these again, and I can do these hopefully better. As you can probably see, fact that I think I've tried to do this once before, this effect where it's like paused and all grainy, and in my computer, the laptop did not like it, did not do anything. So hopefully this is much better. Anyway, I have 4 trailers to catch up on today, and the first one tonight, and the first one I'm gonna watch is Andor. I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I talked a bit about it in the teaser. Just got teased well. This was a show I'm not entirely sure why it was needed. I don't know. Or maybe it was more case of I don't know. I never really liked the Rogue One characters. Rogue One isn't my favorite Star Wars film, and I think the best part of Rogue One is the third act, and the first 2 acts are just too much build up for not enough delivery. Nor was I particularly connected to any of the characters, and it was a bit intriguing, but not enough, and so I wasn't sure about this can show off of them. And now I heard reports that Andor is gonna be very political. I mean, Star Wars is political. It always has been political. Let's not pretend otherwise. It was meant to be. Obviously, stormtroopers are directly taking from Nazi symbology. A lot of the kind of Empire were based on Nazis, but also they were based a lot on America. And it was meant to be about the American-Vietnam conflict. And then the prequels were drew a lot about American politics there. And the sequels were about essentially the rise of neo-Nazism. So, it's always been political. But apparently this is going to be going to draw much more. Obviously, I think it's from what I've seen from some reports that it's going to be a bit less subtle. Because I think one thing Star Wars is that it is quite. If you're not looking for symbology, it's easy to kind of. I don't know. It's easy to. If you're not aware of it, it's easy to miss it, and if you want to be ignorant of it, it's easy to be ignorant of it. This I think it's going to be draw a bit more on from what I've heard of that kind of politics. I don't know. Let's stop babbling because I'm babbling a lot, and let's give a trailer a react and see what we see. But like I said, I'm not. Andor wasn't a character I particularly cared about, so maybe this trailer changes my mind. We will see. And hopefully this all works because I had to rebuild all my OBS scenes because I apparently didn't actually back them up even though I thought I did. But maybe it works better than I thought it would. But let's just see if this works.
To steal from the Empire? You just walk in like you belong. They're so proud of themselves. So fat and satisfied. They can't imagine that someone like me would ever get inside their house.
Cassian Andor. The Empire is choking us so slowly. We're starting not to notice. What I'm asking is this. Wouldn't you rather give it all to something real? I need all the heroes I can get.
For the greater good.
Call it what you will.
Let's call it war.
There's fermenting out there, son. Pockets of fermenting.
You're in my net. Are you a fish? Or are you a thief? You're slipping.
I'm not slipping. I've just been hiding for too long.
As long as everyone thinks I'm an irritation, there's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
What are you really doing?
This is what revolution looks like.
I'm tired of losing.
Pre-episode premiere. Wow, they're going all out now, aren't they? Yeah, let's give it. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, it looks promising, but I think trailers are easy to make look promising. Yeah, I mean, they're designed to build hype, so it doesn't really tell us much. Also, I've lost my thing. The thing gone. That's annoying. Can't see what I'm doing because the things disappeared. Right. Cool. That's back. And then it's disappeared again. I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to fix that later on. Yeah. So where was I? So yeah, let's just give this a. It looks promising. Some of the CGI, like this shot, looks a bit fan filmy. Others look much better. Stellan Skarsgård's always a joy to watch, even though I recently learned he has some problematic opinions. I can't remember what they were now, so I mean, look them up. Maybe they're only problematic to me. I forgot actually. The other thing that was revealed is that the show takes place over like I think a decade, or at least there's time jumps. I think like there's gonna be like 2 seasons. The first season's gonna be like more current, and then the second season like jumps between different like time periods, and then it ends just before Rogue One or something like that. Which is well, it's an interesting choice to see how the story goes about it. But even here we see Andor kind of as a child, and then as Andor gets older and his involvement, and he starts off. It's very much starts off like a lot of actually Star Wars probably start off with where the rebel is like a lone wolf, and then he gets kind of brought into something bigger. But actually, it's consistent because that's what happened in Star Wars Rebels. That's what happened in Star Wars Resistance. It tends to be kind of how these things work. Star Wars. So you get back to a young Andor, and he's talking about how he's making most of the Empire's hubris by using it to sneak in. We see this is the Imperial Senate that we get to see
Of themselves.
and I forget his actor's name, but he was in like series 4 of Primeval playing the protagonist's dad, and I think I've seen him in other things, and from what I've seen of him as his acting, he's like the perfect choice to play an Imperial Senator. So this is obviously the days before they disband the Imperial Senate, because obviously that's actually happens in A New Hope. So we don't actually see much of the Imperial Senate. So it'd be interesting to see kind of how that plays.
So fat
And then yeah, we see more kind of Imperial officers.
and satisfied. They can't imagine that someone like me would ever get inside their house.
And then we see Andor kind of undercover as an Imperial soldier as well. Hey Lily, you're running the effects of my green screen here. If you just dip your head down, that'd be great. Okay, that's fine. So that works too. Yeah, you're going back. Okay. That's fine.
Cassian Andor. The Empire is choking us so slowly. We're starting not to notice. What I'm asking is this. Wouldn't you rather give it all to something real?
Well, that's kind of his recruitment. He has different levels. I've noticed he has different levels of facial hair, so it's going to be a bunch of time jumps here, I assume, because sometimes he has something which is a bit more like what I've got, a bit less, and then he's got others where he's more clean shaven.
I need all the heroes I can get.
For the greater good.
Call it what you will.
Let's call it.
Oh yeah, so Saul Guerrero is back in here, who was, I think, my least favorite thing about Rogue One was how underused he was in that. But they keep dragging this poor guy back to play his character in like such a splintered, non-chronological order, don't they, Lily? My cat's listening. My cat is watching my video, or at least she's watching me speak about the video. It brings this guy back to play his character in such like disjointed fashion. It's but yeah. I mean, he seems to have a wee bit of a limp here, so I don't know how much of his went into game plans, but he hasn't got a breathing tool, so he's clearly not as injured. But yeah, I mean, Soga is such an interesting character who they don't do enough with, because he's meant to be the part of war which is the terrorist part, the extreme part, the part which the media tends to fall on one particular path of, and he's a good way to show that, you know, there's actually, you know, a more grey and war than the media wants you to think. You know, war doesn't exist in this black and white mentality. And so, but you know, in Rogue One, it feels like obviously Rogue One was like subject to a whole bunch of reshoots and stuff, so it feels like his character was kind of a victim of that. He was underused. His death was really bizarre for someone who's like a fighter and someone who's clearly like determined to survive because of all his implants he puts on. He's just kind of like, well, guess my time in this franchise is over. Gonna stand here and die. And it was like, but why? You could have left. Why would you stay? Well, what? I don't. How does that fit in your character? And then he was used to, I think, some better degree in Star Wars Rebels, but they softened his character up because, you know, Star Wars Rebels is a cartoon, and I don't think they went to go. I mean, it's still fairly mature for a cartoon, but I don't think they wanted to go with the whole. Oh yeah, huh. I don't think they wanted to go the whole shebang of portraying the greatness of war.
War.
LAAT, or at least the equivalent of LAATs.
There's fermenting out there, son.
I can't hear a lot of dialogue here, to be honest, which is a bit annoying.
Pockets of fermenting.
But I think they're talking about resistant cells.
You're in my net. Are you a fish? Or are you a thief?
That was a voiceover of a whole bunch of disjointed scenes, so clearly not from the same episode. But yeah, so this is one of the antagonists, probably a new character. I mean, there seems to be a lot of antagonists in the show, so it's unclear who. I guess she's probably one of the main villains because you seem to be the more auxiliary character, so she's probably like the driving antagonistic force if there is one in this show. But it's a weird line. You're on my net. Are you a fish or a thief? Well, I mean, as per our analogy, she's a fish, right?
You're slipping.
I'm not slipping. I've just been hiding for too long.
So again, there's another kind of hair difference. So clearly, a time jump's in place. But yeah, it looks like they're gonna give him a whole bunch of like kind of facades to play, which I'm excited to see because again, I like Emilia Stellan Skarsgård, and then a whole bunch of like space battles, which is great, and this scene looks good. Like the CGI of Star Wars, just like I've been watching the Industrial Light and Magic, or at least I've seen the first episode, and it's just so like awe-inspiring how like far we've gone.
As long as everyone thinks I'm an irritation, there's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
What are you really?
I feel like I should know who that character is, who the actor is. I want to say it's Chancellor Valen, but is it? I guess it might be. He's still alive at this time. I should bring up the cast list of Andor. Andor cast list. Ooh, Fana Shaw's in here. Anton Lesser, that's the name of the actor. No, I don't know who this person is, and he's not the cast list, so clearly no one else has ID'd him. But yeah, we get to see more of Genevieve O'Reilly as Mon Mothma, who is a particularly amusing casting because she was first cast to play Mon Mothma in a scene which got deleted from Star Wars, but they decided to still, keep the canon of that deleted scene, and cast her again in Rogue One, which is technically her first canon appearance because none of deleted scenes count as canon. But she was great in that scene, and in that film, and it's exciting to see kind of how she plays her role in here. So it seems like focusing on Andor, we're going to get like kind of other strands of other people being recruited. Obviously, like rebellion being built in the background. So this is, I think, this probably is actually going to be like a good on showing the meat of the birth of the rebellion, because on screen we've only really seen like the outskirts of how the Ghost Squad got involved in Star Wars Rebels. Well, this kind of shows the actual central part of that, and we haven't seen on screen, I don't think, yet. So that's going to be exciting to see. But yeah, I thought that was what we were going to see in Bad Batch, and we didn't really see enough of that, so who knows.
What are you doing?
This is what revolution looks like.
I mean, that text kind of supports my theory that that's what we're going to see. So hopefully that is what we're going to see, because it's promised it in here. I need to stop shouting because I have my mic turned down. I have my mic sensitivity turned on really low because I have a tendency to mumble. But then I have no like middle. I have like low and loud. So I'm very sorry about that.
I love Lucy.
I don't know what's happening there. I don't like it though, the needle. I do like some of these space shots though, with the whole with the colour of the clouds in the backdrop. I do like this. It's quite exciting. Also, really love that's a very shaky shot to end on. Really love the diverse cast in this. I mean, a lot of Star Wars recently, the live action stuff's been pretty diverse, so it's not as if we're lacking. Well, no, we're always lacking in diversity in media. We've still got so much further to go, but I'm glad like how much kind of diversity we've got, how many people of colour we've got here. It's glad that we're kind of normalising that, especially like science fiction, because people could be like, oh no, well, Western media, a lot of Western countries have majority white population, so you shouldn't see you should have a white majority presence on screen, which I mean is a ridiculous argument, but well, no, you definitely can't apply here. So yeah, I like this, and it whole places this whole kind of white fascism scene when you got a white majority villain base and then diverse kind of hero base. Anyway, I'm getting very hungry and I have 3 more trailers to react to, so gonna end it there, because the more low age I get, the harder it is for me to analyze. But this is my immediate reaction to the Andor trailer. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned to this channel. Like, literally refresh, because in a couple of minutes time, once I've got it all sorted, we're gonna watch the, what's next? I think it's either Pinocchio or Black Panther. I don't know what I've got lined up next, but just stay tuned.